Apollo's appearance represents a new approach to high-end ergonomic chairs. It has a complete dynamic system, allowing the supports to change with the body. It integrates high-end design with a truly effective ergonomic system. At this price point, you rarely see such design completeness and ergonomic performance at the same time. Next, together with Apollo's product director Laura, we'll take a deep dive on all the key features, from design to experience. At first glance, this chair looks quite particular. The backrest looks unlike any traditional ergonomic chair. Can you tell me about its design inspiration?
Once when I was hiking, I saw a type of butterfly. My friend told me it was an Apollo butterfly. First, I didn't pay much attention. It looked graceful and quiet, just flying quietly through the valley. But then I realized it was flying at an altitude of over 2,000 meters. And in such a complex airflow environment, it was still incredibly stable and graceful. At that moment, I was a bit moved. I began wondering how this stable and elegant yet powerful state is achieved. Later, when designing the ergonomic chair, we started thinking, could we bring that kind of logic from nature into the chair? And the Apollo butterfly became a big source of inspiration for us. We started looking at how its wings are structured, where the center is stable, but the outer edges are thin and flexible, and the shape is overall stretched out. So, while designing the Apollo chair, we created a double wing backrest structure. It looks like two wings up and out. It naturally follows the curve of your spine, but at the same time, it gives you support that's not rigid, but flexible and adaptive. In terms of materials, we also made some upgrades. The lower part of the backrest uses 7000 series aluminum alloy, the kind you'd find in automotive and aerospace, to make sure the structure is strong and durable. But for me, what's more important is still experience. When sitting on it, instead of being propped out a few spots, your back feels fully supported, a bit like a landing on wings. It's graceful and dynamic.
So it's not just a design, it's a functional structure.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't just look like a butterfly, it actually works in a similar way. So the elegance isn't something we added up on top, it comes from the structure itself. And there's also a key idea behind the design, which is the butterfly effect. The idea that small changes can lead to big differences. In Apollo, we made a lot of very subtle adjustments, but when you bring them all together, they create a noticeable, different experience.
You mentioned the butterfly effect, how small changes can add up to a very different experience. So on Apollo, what were some of those specific design decisions?
In fact, the Apollo chair is designed around the core concept, that is, comfort and elegance born from the movement. Start with the support method. Apollo has a core structure, which we call the Sync Glide, a synchronous gliding system. That's really where Apollo differs from most traditional ergonomic chairs. What it does is create a seat back linkage. So when you lean back, it's not just the backrest moving. The seat moves with you as well. This structure has a significant impact on sitting positions and experience. First, it allows your pelvis to remain in a neutral and stable position, rather than collapsing backward as it tilts. So that you'll have a more natural spinal curve and your body won't feel being twisted. In terms of ergonomics, the linkage structure allows your spine to bear force more evenly. And compared to the traditional fixed seat recline, it can reduce pressure on spine by about 15% to 30%. There is also something interesting. A lot of people notice this, even if they can't quite describe it. On many chairs, when you lean back, your clothes get pulled up, or you start to slide slightly. That happens because the support isn't continuous. With this seat back linkage, your body moves together with the chair, so you stay supported the whole time. There's no gap at the lower back, so your lumbar area is always in contact, which is especially important for long hours of sitting. Additionally, its recline angle can reach 156 degrees, which is quite significant and something many chairs cannot achieve. Another detail people often overlook is the armrest. On many chairs, they stay fixed, so when you recline, your arms lose their natural support. On Apollo, the armrests move together with the backrest, so whether you're upright or leaning back, your arms are always supported in a neutral position. And your upper body can stay relaxed. So from the back to the waist to the arms, this continuous support is what we think of elegance. Not visual elegance, but something you feel, a smooth, coherent experience.
From what you've said, the structure sounds quite complex. Does that make it harder to adjust?
Actually, not at all. That's something we thought a lot about. What we wanted was for that idea, comfort and elegance from movement, to carry us through into how you actually use the chair. So we brought the main adjustments closer to you, right under the armrest. For example, there's a red lever under the right armrest. You just press it to adjust the seat height, instead of having to reach down or look for controls. The lever under the left armrest controls the recline. You lean back to a comfortable angle, press it to lock, and if you want to adjust again, just press it once more while leaning back. There are 15 recline levels in total, which can be locked with a maximum angle of 156 degrees.
So before, we'd have to reach down to adjust everything, but now I can do it all from here?
Exactly. We didn't want users to have to change their posture just to adjust the chair. It should all feel natural. And that's also part of what we mean by born from movement.
So one more practical question. If I want to keep the chair from moving while I recline, can I lock it?
Yes, you can. There are 2 levers under the seat, one at the front and one at the back. When the rear lever is up, the seat and backrest move together. So when you lean back, the seat moves forward as well. If you push that rear lever down, the seat tab is locked and the seat won't move when you recline. If you want to adjust the seat tab separately, you can use the front lever, push it up, and the seat slides forward or backward. There are 5 levels in total. Once you find the right position, just push it back down to lock it.
I see. So basically, we can switch between linkage and fixed modes based on use habits.
Yes, you can choose based on your preferences.
So apart from these structural and adjustment differences, is there anything that's not obvious that might make a big difference?
Yes. For example, the headrest. Apollo uses a 4D extra wide headrest. It can rotate in 3 directions and it has 15 levels of forward and backward adjustment. So it gives you a very wide range of movement. But more importantly, we didn't design it just to support your head. It can actually pull it down to support your upper back as well. For many people, when they lean forward at their desk, there's no support at all. And that's when the neck and upper back get tight very quickly. In that position, the headrest becomes a very solid support, which is quite different from most traditional headrests.
That's interesting. Most people would assume the headrest is only for when you're leaning back.
Yes, we hope it can be useful in a different sitting positions.
So a lot of these details added up together shape the overall experience you mentioned.
Yes, that is why we refer to it as a butterfly effect.
I actually noticed that right away when I sat down. It feels very intuitive to use. You don't really have to think about it. It just adapts to you naturally.
Exactly. We also hope in this way, users don't need to make any effort to learn how to do it.
I also have back pain. I'm very picky with my chairs. With a lot of other chairs, if I start to sit in them a long time, it feels uncomfortable, or I have to make constant adjustments. But with this one, from the moment I sat down, it felt comfortable. I didn't have to adjust anything.
That's what we're aiming for. A chair that naturally adapts to different people and different sitting positions.
Well, thank you so much for the interview today, Laura.
Thank you. I really enjoyed the conversation.
And if you'd like to try one for yourself, please check out the official website. And thank you very much for watching.